Go outside, nerd.
Not culture show. Ha! So guess what? Goodbye! I'm a nice man.
Welcome everybody to Watto's Vatos, the only Star Wars podcast hosted by three Latinos. At least as far as I know or give a shit. I'm your main host, Franklin. Actually, no, here we're all equals, unlike an uncle to uncle. I'm one of your co-hosts, Franklin. I am one half of the coolest uncles of my whole world. Maybe you've heard of it. A little something called Uncle to Uncle. No? Well, you subscribed. And as always, joined by here, well, not as always, this is Watto's Vato. So yeah, as always, joined by my main ace. He's a bit of a gambling man. Harpo, what's good?
Oh, Frankie, baby. Don't play 21 with a man holding 22. I'm holding it down here on the West Coast, here to answer all your fantasy football questions. But not just yet. Let's kick it over to the East Coast to our boy Bert.
Well, hello everyone. I'm all jimble-jambled and suffering from jet lag because I've been across the pond, I've been down south, I've been here, there, and everywhere. I am Bert.
My dudes, quick question. I want to do a quick soundboard check here, all right? I want to see if you guys subscribed here on Discord. You have the mini thing open there where it shows like favorites or something, my screen. I'm going to play a clip soon here. Will I edit this out? Yes and no.
Breast milk.
Gotta love it.
You heard it? Okay, so we're good here.
Love it. Love the breast milk.
Champ, fucking, what a G. He gave me all these sounds. I'm going to dick around with them.
More than you can afford, pal.
So, yes.
Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know, get a couple of cocktails in me. I'm Ray Barboni from Miami.
Big enough ass for a nice roll in the hay.
All right. Anyways, got that out of my system here. Or did I? We are here to talk about... Let's get things to first here. We've been a while without an episode. We covered Ahsoka last time, and now a new series came out called The Acolyte. It's a universally loved series. Every episode, it got better along the way. It was much like an onion, delicious. You could just take a bite out of it, isn't it? Isn't that so?
Well, you know.
That's a pretty accurate response here. So let's go into it. Let's go into the first reaction.
It was a show.
Okay. Yeah, diplomatic as always here. What do you what were your first reactions to the first two episodes that you saw? Were you off board immediately, like Secret Invasion, which one of the greatest shows of all time, but you know, it needs to simmer, or were you just like, oh, this is awful? I'm gonna start with Bert and then go to Harpo.
I was kind of a wait and see. Let's see where this car, what stop this car is getting off at, because it had its promise, you know, it's a new Star Wars, it was set in a new fucking time, new characters, all that stuff. It was just, oh man, that car just pulled off at a rest stop and I think got shanked, so.
It went to one of Uncle Howard's dick-sucking locations, I think.
It's a goddamn lie!
Oh,
Johnny, you're lying!
the padded glory
Was
hole.
that Mike Tyson?
Pardon me?
Was that a Mike Tyson drop?
That's Gotti, they're lying.
It's a goddamn lie!
Oh.
Johnny, you're lying!
Oh, God. I hope our levels are good, everybody. Otherwise, this is a Patreon. But what's this one?
Gordo cabrón!
Oh, that's from fucking Spanish Austin Powers. What the fuck?
Give me what I want!
Okay, Champ went wild with these. Harpo, I'm gonna go to you, but let's just say...
Make it work.
So, coming off of the heels of Ahsoka, which made my opinions known that I liked 90% of Ahsoka, and then that finale just absolutely shit the bed. I was kind of like, oh, well, we're getting out of the known Star Wars timeline, and we're going, as Huey Lewis once said, we're going back in time. And I thought, hey, new timeline, new year, new me. And I thought, hey, we got a shot at something here and it was just kind of a thing that was there. Like, I didn't think it was particularly good. I also didn't think it was absolutely an abomination, but I could totally see why people checked out. And Star Wars has this thing now where the first season of a thing it solely exists just to build to something else. And I really, with the very end where they finally show Yoda's back, and you're just like, oh, okay, well, maybe next time lead with that. It's like, if you're not gonna get these people hooked on characters they don't know, then you should probably start out with a character that we can identify with. And I gotta ask you this, Frankie, that guy that's kind of poking his head around the cave, that's Snoke, right?
That's a great question. Is it Snoke? Yes and no. Oh my god. My initial reaction was, I see some potential. This is the initial reaction. 2 episodes in. I liked the Nemoidians. Yeah. I liked some of the vibes I saw early on. I thought this does a good enough job for a series fitting the motif of before the Phantom Menace. And then,
so I gotta ask you about the Nemoidians real quick.
No.
Do you think they overcorrected with the accents? Because now instead of they went from one caricature to another. They went from the racist Asian stereotype to like what I can kind of sense as a bit of a New Jersey accent.
He is a mean.
Oh, where's the rest?
He is a mean.
Oh, what the fuck did you do, champ?
Yeah.
He's devilish.
He is a mean.
Where's the fucking rest?
I am Lord Charlie Mordecai.
What are my thoughts? I mean, gosh, I thought
Michael Jackson has died.
So no, I thought, well, I mean, it makes sense. Big planet, you're gonna have different, even here in England, everybody doesn't sound, British accent can mean many different things. All right, so
it's true.
Yeah, so I thought it was fine. I wasn't bothered. I wasn't.
You don't have to be a baby to like breast.
So yes.
I think the show was really horny at a certain point when Homeboy was just walking around naked for a majority of an episode.
Yeah. There's definitely some horny vibes. What bothered me the most about this show, and I don't want to spend too long on this because it was a show. It's like Sammy Sosa said, what happened. Let's move on. So I thought essentially it got worse as it went on. It didn't.
Yeah.
What bothered me the most was there was music with vocals at the end, and it sounded like modern music. Did you catch it in the credits for the last 2 or 3 episodes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh my God, Uncle Howard is going to be so mad. And then I realized, oh wait, he's probably not watching.
Well, he ain't going to watch for long because my sister said I could use her Disney Plus, meaning he's going to
shit.
He's going to lose my Disney Plus, and he's going to go, Dean.
So I think one thing I did like about this show initially was kind of like the murder mystery aspect of it, where it was kind of like a procedural, because it's kind of like as close as we'll ever get to what's the Ice-T?
SVU.
It's like, Yeah, SVU. It was
I
kinda
got
like the
news for
closest we'll
you.
ever get to SVU.
I got news for you.
But yeah,
I'm not
and I
saying
kind of
it.
how some of the Jedi died, because I was like, it's kind of cool to see a time where Jedis weren't just tanks that would run into the battlefield and kill 100 million droids. It's like, oh, they actually can be taken down. Yeah, and then like the one that was like guilted into suicide, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it had a Jedi Wookiee, and then even the light, but it just seemed like it never got out of second gear.
No.
It was like even like the widely praised epic lightsaber battle was still like 15 Jedi against one person. It was like, I wanted to see like a bunch of dark force wielders, but that's just not going to ever happen because of the rule of two.
Unless you go further back.
Yeah, I think this is, but we'll never know.
I was just upset they killed off like every interesting character like way too soon. Like all the Jedi, like if I'm not wrong, they were the ones in the novelizations for the High Republic where like you see like, I'm sorry, dude with the dreads, like what's his name? Like I've seen him in like the cover art for other shit. So like these are like kind of established High Republic characters, and they're just like, oh yeah, we're just killing them all off in this one stretch of episodes. Like
my understanding.
Oh cool, we're left with the twins.
Bert, my understanding was only bald green alien lady was from the High Republic. I don't think I forgot the dude's names. It was like Zork or something like that. I mean, I guess you could say that's a lot of Star Wars characters where it's like what's wrong with Zork? And it's just like, oh, you know him. He's a nerd. Like, so I guess we could go to things we liked about this show, but I think much like Harpo, it never got out of second gear. And that's kind of what I felt. I thought the bare bones of it, you had the bare bones of a good story. It just never escalated, and some parts of it looked cheap, and I don't know. It just struggled. It really just struggled to get into that next gear of storytelling. The bald green alien lady, not my favorite, not my favorite character. Just we know she was covering it up. Basically, they had the guidelines of that one line from Ki-Adi-Mundi in the Phantom Menace of the Sith had been extinct for a millennia. So, and that right there is what they had to work off of. How does this not spread? This news not spread. So it's a cover up. We know it's going to be a cover up essentially, and that's the wiggle room they had. And we got what we got.
And that was also the most unnecessary cameo too, Ki-Adi-Mundi.
What did you say?
Oh, like, buddy, you ain't hiding it. We could see that just for men in your facial hair, man.
Okay.
Literally, like let's make him 100 years younger. Give him some touch of gray.
Give him a goatee.
Divorced dad Ki-Adi-Mundi, like, would have been Kirk Van Houten's roommate or something.
I thought Mr. Delicious was that.
I sleep in a pod racing bed. Do you sleep in a pod racer bed?
How about no?
All right. Is there anything else we can get into this series here? Like we talked about, again, there's not much to it. What bothered me the most was the fucking end credits more than a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give one positive.
Okay, go.
I like the Homeboy's armor, that it was like that new metal that disrupts lightsabers. I thought that was a cool touch.
Yeah.
The helmet was dope.
Yeah. I agree with that, Bert. I think that's a nice touch. I'm sure somebody complained about it not existing, like everything else that didn't exist off a movie that was made in 1977 or whatever. But yeah, I agree. That
made the Night Sisters look weak, though. Man, it's like, come on.
Were they Night Sisters?
They weren't Night Sisters.
I think they were Night Sister adjacent, or like forerunners of the Night Sisters.
There were witches, and I don't mind the different interpretations of the Force, just like we have different interpretations of religion. You know, people made a much bigger deal out of that specific thing than anything else, and like they clinged on. A lot of people. I mean, this show sucked as it is. It didn't need the unnecessary criticism of things that just are just insignificant. You know, like it sucked.
Yeah.
Let the show. I mean, to me, it sucked and it wasn't good, but you don't need to latch on to other things, and it's, I don't know. I mean, criticize the stuff that sucks, not the stuff that you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and this is kind of just you guys know me, and I know you guys. We're all pretty much the most positive Star Wars fans you're gonna find out there. Like, but we're also honest, and this was just an experiment that didn't work, but it also kind of shone a light on what I think is the biggest problem, not just of modern Star Wars, but of, I would say, like 90% of Star Wars, is that the dialogue always kind of sucks. And I think this time it just sucked a little bit too much for even like the hardcores to get behind.
Interesting. I'm just checking my levels now. I'm seeing I'm a little bit lower than you guys, so bear with me, but I'm gonna increase my gain. How about that for inside baseball there, Connie?
Making gains
in the podcast realm here. Now I'm too loud. Who knows? I'm gonna leave this alone, guys. I apologize. My positive thing that I will say about this series, I love the Nemoidians. I did mention that. Can't say I'm a bummer. You can't say I'm a bummer. I liked the Nemoidians. I liked, a lot of that stuff.
The little droid was cool.
I liked the little droid. I didn't like the little guy. We'll never know his heel turn.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
All of a sudden, he was just like...
little sniffer guy?
Yeah, the little sniffer guy. Yeah.
He was sniffing around, bro.
Force attuned nose.
Force attuned, yeah. Yeah, I could tell a lot of perverts would like that ability, but yeah. It's all right. Let me adjust my gain here. All right, so I think we're back. I think that about covered. I mean, it's no season 2. How sad were you guys when you heard that news?
It was a news.
I mean,
yes.
yeah, it was news. I was kind of bummed because, hey, we're finally going to get to see Yoda. And, but they probably would have fucked that up too. So leave the memories alone.
Well, look at this, prima donna!
From over here, look like you taking a shit.
Again, I don't know what's on these. Let me see. What's this one?
I do know someone
Penetrate their
was
bigs,
when
get deep, suck the D in.
Sorry,
someone was really upset because they showed Yoda and they're like, "Man, you're just implicating him on this crime shit. Oh, he's guilty too." It's like, God damn, dude.
God damn.
I didn't even think about that. There's blood
Stay
on Yoda's
off
hands.
the weed!
Sorry.
Exactly.
So that was the Acolyte, everybody. There was,
It happened.
It happened. We move on,
The real Acolyte was the friends we made along the way.
Yep. It is the friends we made along the way. It followed the Ahsoka formula, if I could add that part, of how you kind of have an interesting first episode, and the second one's kind of filler-ish, and then the third one is really shitty, and then they present something to you, like, towards the end, and I just feel like these series can be, like, they can basically be, like, 2 episodes long, to be perfectly honest. Like,
it could just be a movie.
Make a fucking movie. I mean, honestly, that's what I've gotten to at this point. Make a fucking movie. Like, what are we doing? I don't. What's?
It doesn't matter what you think!
God damn it, Champ.
Damn, Dwayne.
Yeah. I don't think he put the good one. There's a really good one Champ had. It's like where The Rock says, "Go back to smoking crack." Let me see what this
Right
one.
up to the balls.
Oh, boy.
All right. So, shall we move along here, Harpo? I think we've covered
Yes,
this.
please.
I did you watch All In? I guess is what I'll ask you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we should get into All In then, right?
Absolutely.
Nice. All right. So, Bert, I mean, I can I say it? You took a trip here to the UK. I greatly appreciate it. I honestly cannot tell you how much fun I had. You know, first friend to visit here, and we went to motherfucking All In, man.
Brother, your newfound countrymen were not ready for two Cubanos to be as obnoxious and drunk as the rest of them.
They were fucking ready, Harpo. I could truly say, you know, I honestly though, part of me, I like British fans though, kind of like they're less
I
offended.
told you this in confidence. I said, listen, fans in the UK, I love them because they love wrestling, like legit love wrestling, and like they're so positive and like into it. They're not like American fans that are somewhat jaded, somewhat shitty. And yeah, I enjoy UK wrestling scene a lot.
We did go to a Rev Pro show the night before, Harpo. I'm not gonna break into. I think.
Oh damn.
Yes. No. Bert insisted, and I'm so glad he insisted because I was on the fence, but Bert was like, "Let's do this," and he had British wrestling experience. And holy shit, I am so glad I listened to Bert because that show, basically. I'm going to put it this way, and I'm going to steal... No, I'm not going to steal your line, because I told you 100 times, Bert, what you said was so fucking accurate after the opener. I'm just going to let you...
I'm trying to remember what the hell I said.
Oh, we may have been drinking this early in the morning. Basically, we saw...
Yes, we were.
we saw Saraya's brother, Ricky Knight. I don't know. Maybe that's his name. Yeah. And
yes. Now I remember. Yeah.
He was taking on... Was he taking on the guy from Spain?
Yeah,
Zolaya,
Zorba,
right?
Zorbo the Great,
Zorbo the Great, and there's a styles clash on the apron after the first match. It's kind of like a PWG show, basically, in terms of every match is a main event. And Bert looked at me and said, "Everybody's Davey Richards nowadays," and I thought, "Holy shit, you're right." Everybody's Davey Richards. Everybody can...
They're all super hyper athletic. They're all built like little tanks, doing insane spots that only the likes of Benoit would mush brain themselves back in the day. And everyone wants to be that guy. And it's like, when there's a million of you doing the same style, it's like, okay, you're great.
Yeah.
I guess.
I think Uncle Howard and I saw like either his last or next to last appearance before he got canceled.
Did Davey get canceled?
Oh, yeah.
I know he got nude. No.
I thought it was just
allegedly.
I didn't think he got canceled.
Allegedly.
Oh,
here,
no,
everybody.
he got canceled.
Allegedly.
Yeah, he got allegedly canceled.
Thank you.
It was funny because, like, we were walking in, and I think we were, like, probably, like, the first people in the door.
Uh-huh.
And, like, you sit there at the gimmick table just because it's the Colonial Theater in Sacramento. It's, like, it's not really built for wrestling, but it's, you know, it's kind of like an old, like, maybe like 300 seat, like, theater.
Uh-huh.
And, like, the lobby is really small, and it has, like, you know, like, concession stand and then a bathroom. And then there's, like, right wedged between the concession stand and the bathroom is this, like, fold-out card table with Davey Richards hawking his gear. And I was like, holy shit. Like, you shouldn't be sitting out here, Davey. Come on, man. Have some pride.
Have some self-respect. I'm not going to go into what he did. I just thought he got, like, nude photos of him leaked, and I never even got to see them. Believe it or not, I've seen so many dicks. I've seen Seth Rollins' dick. I've seen Vader's dick.
Regal's?
Oh, Regal's dick. We saw Regal's dick live.
I think all of North America saw Regal's dick.
Oh my. But the fact that we saw it live, isn't that insane? We saw Regal's dick live. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't get past that now.
A whole generation was scarred.
Sure. And then we saw the lamest dick of them all at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Buff Bagwell's. I thought we all had that.
God, I forgot about that.
You forgot about that?
Oh.
You forgot? I mean,
I'm not kicking a man when he's down. Come on, Buff's trying. He's making an effort.
yeah.
Oh man, Too Cold Scorpio said it the best. How the hell are you gonna be a gigolo with that little ass dick?
I mean, good God. I mean, honestly, how are you going to be on a show called Gigolos? Scorpio got it, fucking 100%. But I just got on topic of dits. We're trying to do Rev Pro recap here, but you know,
You're pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close. So, yeah, we won't touch Davey Richards then, and I'll ask you after the show what he did. I'm not laughing. It's not funny.
I don't know the specifics. I just know that he got canceled.
There's bad vibes.
He's all, I'm retiring once again immediately. Like, it was like within like a week or two after we saw him.
Fuck.
I don't even remember who I think he wrestled like Alex Shelley.
Jesus Christ.
Been someone else.
A main event in any arena.
Dude, Prestige doesn't fuck around, man. It's like we're trying to get him to come back to Sacramento, but I don't think they like the Colonial Theater. So it's like, yeah, that's where we saw Filthy Tom Lawler come out in Daisy Dukes, and then halfway through the match he gets pantsed and he's wearing underwear that are dyed like Daisy Dukes underneath, and then he wrestled the rest of the match in his underwear. It was high art.
Yeah, it is funny to see weird theaters. Bert, you went to a show, last night at a brewery?
Yeah, it was actually the final send-off for this particular brewery, and it was CCW runs their Coastal Championship Wrestling with star headliner. Are you ready for this, guys?
I'm waiting.
QT Marshall.
Oh, international superstar QT Marshall.
He's their heavyweight champion. I had no fucking idea.
Oh, I live for this shit.
He bet on himself, Bert.
Yeah,
Somebody
he showed up with
posted
the 8 pounds of gold.
Hold on.
Gigolos? I do. I was like, what the Get the out of here. How the he gonna get on the gigolos and he got to think about this big?
Thank you. Anyways. So, what's on? What's this one?
Spanish, Haitian, Indian, Jamaican. Michael Jackson has died.
I am Lord Charlie Mordecai.
Okay. Champ, you've outdone
You don't
yourself.
have to be a baby to like breasts.
Thank you. God damn it. So, basically, Rev Pro show, fun. You were sitting next to somebody who fucking smelled foul, though.
Yeah, they're nice guy, but he was ripe.
He was
ripe, buddy.
Ripe, yeah. I mean, basically every match was a main event. We did see Hechicero and Zack Sabre Jr. though, Harpo, and that was a fucking banger. That was insane. And I told Bert when
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
ZSJ is like, I'm glad that he shows up like 2 or 3 times a year in AEW, but man, like somebody's gonna make that guy rich. He's like the best cocky, like he's the closest that England will ever get to having like Johnny Lawrence.
Yeah, I agree. I like that. He had a fucking killer match when we saw him, and I told Bert, we're Cuban. We could say whatever the fuck we want here, and nobody's gonna fucking know if we say it in Spanish. And
I went full hog on that shit.
You went full fucking hog. I mean, we both did a bit, but yeah, that was. I mean, you know how liberating it is, Harpo, to just fucking say.
Shall I give it to him for our Spanish listeners?
Oh, fuck yeah! I mean, enseña tu pinga primero.
No, saca la pinga que la quiero medir. Oye, te voy a coger las nalgas, echarlo en mitad y metértelo en el culo, coño.
If we were front row, Hechicero would have blushed. He would have fucking just been in shock. Well, you were talking about one clever way Hechicero can reverse one of Zack Sabre Jr.'s submission holds.
Which was?
Well, what was it? It was basically fuck. I forgot how to say it in Spanish. Shove a finger up his ass, basically.
No, yeah, I was
Meta el dedo en el culo. Sí.
Oh, sí, no. Coge la pinga ya la coño, que así lo
Oh,
suelta.
did you say twist? I don't remember you saying
think I
twist.
said yank it,
You
let go.
said finger in the butt to reverse the hold, like you was Jake Roberts or something, and fucking.
All I know is Hechicero made that flight from Mexico all the way to the UK to work at Rev Pro. That's a G right there.
That and he had the
Yeah,
fucking.
And
yeah.
only Rev Pro because he didn't do anything with AEW.
No, that's right. He wasn't in the Battle Royal, the Casino Gauntlet or whatever the fuck, you know.
We saw Ishii work a banger of a match too.
Yeah, that was wild.
Man.
Right the night before, and I stole Bert's line because Dante Martin was one of the surprise guys in the whatever scramble match. And he went, Dante, save your energy. You have Collision in an hour. And so no, Rev Pro, fun experience. British wrestling it can be wild.
Oh, they answered our prayers. We got Mina, baby, Mina.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Full entrance and everything.
And she even showed up
Nice.
with the belts on Rampage.
Oh, that's right. She's the British. I forget. It's like
Rev
specifically the
Pro,
British Women's Champion.
the Rev Pro. I don't remember the exact title. She has 2 belts. You got to come back here, Mina. I'm very sorry, but you have to come back. You have the belt. You have to come back.
You got to
It's
do the
in
business.
your contract, darling.
You know, there's a lot of people who took out their phones and were taking photos. I mean, you know, my handler listens to this. You know, and I was disgusted when I saw all these people.
It was disgusting.
They took out their
Totally
phones.
classless.
They were zooming in, taking these photos. You know, one guy was trying to get video and really, you know, he thought he was Jerry Bruckheimer here, trying to get the perfect shot. And, you know, I went, boo, have some self-respect, brother. That's what I was doing.
When the
Good,
chat
I'm
typed
glad
out,
you
I'm
were
like,
there
oh, I
to
can see
defend
who the
women.
perverts are in the audience.
But yeah, dope show. I highly advise. You got to get a British wrestling experience at some point in your life. I'm glad it was authentic.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they get rowdy, they get a little drunk. I mean, I've gone to WWE shows, man. There's always there's always an old white lady I somehow upset just by being present and not even at my most obnoxious form. For some reason, anytime I've been to WWE, there's just always somebody who, you know, I'm always getting, you know, the stink eye here. So, yeah.
They're usually getting
That's
the
fine.
parents like, oh, I came here for my fucking kid, and there's wrestling fans. And they're obnoxious.
You know what? But the people we sat behind it All In that were a family, they were chill as fuck too, though.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That kid learned some new language from me.
That kid was fucking hilarious because when Saraya came out and she's like, I'm the Queen of England, he goes, oh, Queen is dead. And, you know, he was on one. And then when Malachi Black came out,
Boy.
he went, ooh, spooky Dutchman.
That's what he needs to. Okay, that's his Fire Pro name from now on. Malachi Black is Spooky Dutchman.
Spooky Dutchman, yeah. So no, let's go into All In. I don't want to do a match by match breakdown. I'm a vibes guy. Harpo, what were your thoughts just on the show itself, or if anything else you want to get specific on? But you know,
Oh man. Okay, so I got a few things just off the top of my head here. The vibes were immaculate because, well, first of all, Prince Nana's fit was impeccable.
mm-hmm.
Double J gave somebody a guitar necklace.
Yep.
The thing that made me jump out of my chair in my living room was Orange Cassidy's Mr. Bean entrance.
Yeah, I remember. I came right back after taking a piss, and I saw that. I need to explain it was in the bathroom stall, but not quite yet.
No, the kid in front of us, like, he was the one that, like, pointed me in the direction. He goes, oh, it's Mr. Bean. I'm like, oh, that's where I remember that gimmick from. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, are you fucking kidding me, Tony Khan? You really are booking for the sickos, and I love you for it.
Tony's a G.
Okay, and then I feel like my favorite moment, non Brian Danielson category,
Yes.
had to be just that slow boil that the crowd came to when Nigel and ZSJ came face to face.
So good. So good.
Dude, it was just perfect. For a guy who hadn't wrestled in 12 years and probably has brain damage, Nigel did not look half bad.
No, I saw him I love Tosh's Sandman podcast. It's so fucking good. I definitely
good.
recommend. And I'll listen to them, and I love their recaps. They weren't as high on night. We were there live. I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch it, but he looked good enough. I didn't see
good, man.
Yeah, I didn't see any issue. I mean, again, still listen to Tosh
We were
Man's.
Nigel guys in a sea of Brits, for sure, and for different reasons other than countrymen. Because, frankly, you pointed out we hadn't seen Nigel wrestle in 12 years.
It's 13 actually. Not to be that guy. 2011. Sorry. Hey, look, Last of McGinnis on DVD. It's it's on YouTube for free now, so you can actually.
Well, I get it to him when he faced off Zack Sabre Jr. I go, look everyone, it's the greatest wrestler in British pro wrestling history, and Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, dude, they don't like that. There are certain guys that we got shown love for the most part. But there are certain guys who are like, nah, this is British wrestling. You can't do that. Bert cheered for Dijak at one point at the Rev Pro show, and they're like, you can't fucking you can't fucking do that. Who did Dijak face?
You can't do that.
Why can't I cheer for Dijak?
Dijak's good. Who did he face again? I'm drawing a fucking complete blank. I'll have to look up the results.
Oh, you had to give me the talking to because. During MJF, sorry Harpo, I don't mean to jump around here, but during MJF Ospreay, it was very, very UK versus USA, and we're two proud Americans.
And they knew we were Americans.
I could feel the crowd tense around us.
It got a little bit, if I think we were on good terms with everybody, but at that point, the guy behind me,
yeah.
Guy
go ahead.
Guy behind me was just he was being friendly about it, but he was kind of nah. I was drinking. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't remember a fucking quote, but it was a little bit slightly negative. We're on good terms. We're on good terms being pro Big Bill, but once Ospreay came out, it was hey mate, why don't you shut the fuck up kind of vibe, So okay.
I think it was MJF was doing a crazy high spot, and I go, yeah, I like to see Big Daddy do that shit.
Oh God, oh boy, yeah. That's a national treasure here. So I did not, I didn't want any of the smoke, so to say. So yeah, we did do
man. I would have thrown some Jim Breaks slurs in there and be like, hey man. MJF is Jim Breaks if Jim Breaks was good. Just to see what the Brits would say about it.
Yeah, we had to. I started chanting "It's coming home," which is a very it's a British football thing.
Shit.
Spoiler
alert! It never comes home.
And it never does. I think people were even more upset once we started being a little bit of turncoat. I specifically started being more of a turncoat. I'm like, what a maneuver. I love this guy, And
Ospreay one, we're like, see, we told you he was gonna bring it home.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a little tense at that point, but things chilled out, later, So, other notes from that show. Bert, do you have anything off the top of your head from All In?
I know that by the time the main event rolled around, we were right knackered and pretty drunk. And we weren't going to let our love for Danielson be subdued. All the fucking breaks were off. That's when I got my most belligerent. That's when I didn't care. I made our whole section get up when Justin Roberts was doing the introductions. I'm like, all of you, stand up, applaud, cheer this man. Everyone got up.
Disrespectful fucks.
Yeah. That was one of ours coming out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think we were also very... like you said, Franklin, for tonight or any other night, but tonight, fuck you, Swerve.
Yeah.
And that kind of threw everyone off when we were very fuck Swerve.
They were fuck Swerve. Like, I love Swerve, but I'm not like everybody was cheering. Like, they cheered for Swerve during his entrance, and I was like, look, I already picked, Brian tonight. Swerve every other night, practically. Like, love Swerve. Love him and Nana together. But I don't want to see Danielson's last match. I didn't want. I mean, it was
Right.
Swerve against anybody else. Yeah, going for Swerve 100%. But yeah.
I was also thinking about it last night. Like, that was the first time I think you and me both got to see Danielson come out the final countdown since like 2009.
Yeah. Well, I saw him in 2007 against Morishima, and it was a shorter match. And then we saw him in a throwaway match teaming with Bison Smith against like.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
he wasn't teaming. You're talking about the Coral Springs show?
The Coral Springs. No, he was against Bison Smith and somebody else.
He faced El Generico in like a.
That was Orlando.
Match. It was a
that
match.
was Orlando. I didn't go to Orlando. You went to Orlando. So the night before was Danielson in a throwaway tag match because he was wrestling through a concussion, which is fucking insane.
Good thing nothing bad ever happened from that.
No, right? I'll look up the match of what it was, but I remember it was very Memphis stomp clamp, kind of, bullshit. But back to All In. Somebody in the fucking stalls, there was just puke everywhere and like a pair of sweatpants by the stump. Like, who the fuck? Like,
someone shit themselves.
But there was vomit too, so I don't even know. Like, I don't know what the fuck. One guy came. First off, I got to take a piss early because one guy's like, "Nah, you don't want to go in there, mate." And he's like, "There's sick." They call vomit sick here. This sick everywhere. I'm like, sick. All right, let me take a piss and not wait in this fucking queue. And I saw some sweats just dangling there. I'm just like, there's vomit, there's sweats. I'm just like, buddy, what did you fucking do afterwards, man? They sell T-shirts at the arena.
Walk around bare bottom in Wembley.
Unless they put on.
Or they wear their shirt as pants.
That's Harpo. You read my mind. I thought they got a fucking acclaimed shirt. Fucking use the legs of the holes in the T-shirt as pants, and he just baby Huey'd that motherfucker.
Dude, I had one of my friends was so drunk once that we put him in his bed, like the party was still going on, and he comes out later wearing his shirt as pants.
Is that the most offensive thing? Could you get in trouble for that?
I think you can because it's like there's a hole there, man.
There's a hole for a
if
dick
you sit
too.
In the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. If you sit in the chair, we're gonna see everything, man.
I didn't think of that. Yeah. So I don't know what the fuck they did, but there were a pair of sweatpants just draped over there. Thanks for not leaving them on the floor. Like, was he gonna come back for them later? Was kind of my thought process. Like,
letting him air out, mate.
Let me.
At least he didn't have him soaking in a sink or something.
Yeah, right. God. I just, if you're in section 112, man, and let us know what happened here. Claim your fucking Adidas. Oh, Bert, the match was Bryan Danielson and Jerry Lynn against Delirious and Jimmy Jacobs at Coral Springs.
My memory blocked out that match completely. My God.
That whole show was so we got Brad Attitude defeated Sean Osborne, Bison Smith defeated Sal Renaro, Bobby Dempsey, Eric Stevens, and Roderick Strong. They just defeated some scrubs, and that whole show was Tyler Black was on it.
All it had like the fingerprints of the good old days of ROH, like all over it, like just the feel to it. It was like the biggest ROH show possible.
That's basically what I got from it. Yeah, with Jeff Jarrett, which makes it even better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
the Battle Royal was a love letter for that generation of Ring of Honor. You got Nigel, you got Mark Briscoe, Roddy, Kyle O'Reilly. Like, it was great.
Yeah, no, Casino Gauntlet was dope.
Somebody came out wearing Jimmy Rave's jacket. I can't remember who.
Oh, Swerve. Yeah. That was great.
Swerve, that's right.
Yeah, he's done it for big matches.
Dude,
I've always appreciated that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. He did it last year as well.
Did he come out to the Embassy music though?
Nah.
No.
He had what? I don't know who fucking sang for him. Like what?
Yeah, but he had
DJ
like
Who
his
Kid?
the guy who does his theme song. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, no. Swerve's a star, you know. There's no two ways about it. Like Swerve, you know, MJF, Osprey, those are your fucking dudes right now, you know? There's no two ways about it.
Hangman's in it, right.
Hangman's
not
right
too far
there.
behind him.
Yeah.
Dude,
MJF
they're
with
set.
his Luger panties.
Luger panties, yeah.
That was awesome.
We got like 18 texts from our friend about like fucking MJF's dick in them. It was like, okay, I got it. Like that, we're good. Like we know it's there. Yeah.
You can say it with one text. Decent bulge. That's it. And we all know what it means, and it's true, and you move on.
We'll move on.
It wasn't as crazy as the gear he wore during Kyle Fletcher, because for sure that was him coming right off the Mexico tour, and he took those styling cues from the luchadors, bro. The fucking high crotch panties.
Fuck. What is it about CMLL wrestlers? I mean, yeah, just they wear this gear, this vinyl adjacent panties that I don't think ever fit them in the first place. I guess sex sells. That's the answer. Sex sells. You know.
Franklin, one of the things that made me fall in love with you was where somebody posted like a picture of Chris Daniels doing or something weird.
I know what it is.
They were like, "Oh my gosh, this is so bizarre," and you go, "Yeah, decent bulge on Daniels, but otherwise, yeah, pretty weird."
It was a Christy Hemme music video, and Daniels is in it dancing. Just like
decent bulge on Daniels, but yeah, weird.
It was. It was. I wish. Maybe Tony was referencing that when he told MJF to wear the Luger panties for sure. But yeah, fucking great show. I think I heard other old coworkers of mine that are just like, it was whatever. I'm just like, man. And people,
what the fuck?
People are just so WWE pilled. It's just fucking wild.
They don't know a good show when they see it now because they've been fed, the fast food equivalent of wrestling for so long that they don't appreciate a home cooked steak meal. It's like, what the fuck, dude? What more could you want? AEW's pay-per-views always deliver. You'll be hard pressed to find more than like one match that's on every single card. Like, that's it. They show up for their pay-per-views. They put on the best pay-per-views in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know what else people want. It's like, what the fuck, dude? And this whole thing made me realize that when Danielson does retire, I am going to be despondent. Like, I don't know if I'm going to want to keep watching wrestling. Like, he's that first indie guy, I think, for most people, like, in our age group. And, seeing him near the finish line reminds us of our own mortality.
Oof. Yeah, I don't like that. But you're not wrong.
I don't like that at all.
You're not wrong, but Jesus, what a note.
He is our guy. He is our guy.
We've watched him grow up,
Basically, yeah, over 20 plus years. I saw him way back because I bought a Memphis tape, not because to see Danielson because he wasn't anything. I wanted to see the Mean Street Posse's run in Memphis Championship Wrestling, so I bought a 5-hour tape. Somebody recorded off of their UPN affiliate in Memphis, and I had 5 hours of Memphis TV basically of just different matches because I wanted to see the Mean Street Posse and how they were developing, And I saw Bryan Danielson. He was nothing. I am not going to sit here and tell you he looked great. Others from his class looked a lot better, but they don't look better now.
Shooter Schultz.
Oh, Shooter Schultz, damn. Shooter Schultz and Lance Cade. Those are the two guys I'm banking on.
Spanky.
And Spanky, yeah.
Spanky was class after him.
Spanky was the same class. And he did look like he was fucking ready to go, day one in Memphis. I was like, okay, that dude's kind of good, actually. He didn't turn out to be very good later on, but yeah.
It's some strong opinions.
I wanted to go back on Harpo's point about WWE pilled and what they're expecting, and I'll say, All In hands down, and I've been to several WrestleManias, that was the greatest stadium show I've ever been to, and greatest show overall I've been to.
Yeah.
Which is just further proof you can do wrestling in a stadium capacity and have it get over.
Yeah, I've been anti-stadium for ages, and we also had the best view of the ring. Granted, no fucking screen up top in our section, but we had the best view of the ring. And I finally understood what Bert said about it's not about watching the match necessarily. I mean, you are watching the match, but it's about being a part of the atmosphere and, like, being a part of that experience for Bryan's last, what we thought might have been his last match was fucking incredible. I mean, and shout out to Swerve.
Insane.
Swerve fucking all his notes, fucking just everything connected. Every fucking thing connected. It was from where we sat, it was a flawless ass match. So, I mean, yeah, I got nothing at this point. Like, that was definitely the best show. I thought I did want to mention one thing. After, and again, I'm not really trying to be that guy. After me and Bert went to WrestleMania, 28 or something, where Bryan lost in 12 seconds to Sheamus, and the rest of the show went on, and I've told the story a bunch. I wanted to leave early. I was just done. Like, we had a whole weekend of seeing Dragon Gate, CZW, and ROH, and I'm just like, I'm fucking done. Nothing here interests me. I don't like being in the stadium. We have a palm tree blocking our view. And that's the day I realized, I'm like, oh, WWE isn't bad. It's not for me. And I'm like, I enjoyed every other show we went to. And like, oh, it's just not for me. And yeah, I should have not stopped watching them, but I kind of should have known back at that point, like, yeah, this is the turning point for me of just being any other kind of wrestling. Like, WWE is too over fucking, it's too much of a fucking production for my taste, personally.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been kind of leaning in that direction for years. And then Uncle Howard and I went to a SmackDown taping. And this was, probably 2 weeks after we just went to a Prestige show. And it was, probably the best indie show I've ever been to. And then 2 weeks later, we're sitting in an arena that's 60% filled, but they're constantly moving people around to make it look full. And even during the commercial breaks, it was almost like you were at a minor league baseball game. We were doing kiss cam and stuff during the commercials. I was like, oh man, that's what this is now. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a whole fucking thing now. It is, it's an event. It's they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing in terms of producing something. I don't mean this this is probably both a positive. It looks like a Marvel movie sometimes, and a Marvel movie with 2.5 men writing is what I compare WWE to. And I know it's only off of one segment, but I saw something with Dom and talking to, what was it? Punishment Martinez, Damian Priest, right? And Damian Priest, Nightmare Gonzalez, fucking shout out right there. He's talking to Nightmare Gonzalez, and he says, "Hey man, it's not that hard. You just gotta choose between one of them." Oh, and Carlito goes, "Oh, it actually looks kind of hard." And it's just like, oh, this is 2.5 men writing. This is Charlie Harper. But you know what? None of those guys are as talented as John Cryer, so you lost me.
Yeah.
So
John Cryer with hair or without hair guy?
Fuck that.
Oh yeah, it's a big distinction to make.
Fuck. I mean, to me, he has no, John Cryer what. So I haven't seen him without hair. I mean, I've seen photos. I mean, he plays a loser so well, with hair. I can't imagine him embracing the without hair. It just seems like a drastic. Who is that man?
Wasn't he Lex Luthor for some of the CW Superman stuff?
Yes, he was.
Wow. Yeah. How was he in that?
That's
Harpo?
He's an established bald.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm it's a fellow comic book property nerd. Gene Hackman set the bar for Lex Luthor. and John Cryer sailed right over that.
That's awesome. John Cryer, man. Shout out John Cryer. That's a dude right there.
Yep.
You think he was getting laid a lot during 2.5 Men era? Because that was, I mean, that had its, I don't say a stranglehold across the nation, but it was a big deal.
He pops up in the most random places now. It's like I used to listen to this like true crime podcast, and then they added like a second episode every week where it was like they would take listener questions, and they got John Cryer to like moderate it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's like, don't you have John? You're a celebrity. You are better than this.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild that he would just do a podcast that just. I guess he was a fan.
And it was like yeah, he was a fan of it, and it was like, he approached them and said, hey, you're doing the second, follow-up episode every week. I would love to moderate it for you. I'll ask you the guys the questions that the viewers have. And they're like, I guess they were gonna pay him for it, and he was like, at the end of every episode, he goes, and my salary from this season is being donated to blah blah blah, like some charity.
Oh my god!
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right.
Well, also, what do you pay that guy who probably at some point was making 6 figures per episode of 2.5 Men?
Oh yeah, dude, he's got so much fuck you money. It's like not even funny.
What do you? I mean, like honestly, like if I was gonna have him on Uncle to Uncle, like, wait, do you want $200 for this episode? Is the best we could do. Like, it's kind of embarrassing at that point.
You're getting $5. He's getting $5,000 per easy.
Yeah.
Star of stage and screen.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. What I was gonna say, would John Cryer is at a Memphis Grizzlies game? Do they show him on the celebrity cam?
Oh, yes. They don't have television in Memphis.
They don't got toothpaste. Nah, I'm just joking. Memphis, you're not Vermont. We're good. Oh, forgot about the soundboard. Fuck the Grizzlies.
I live for this shit.
All right. So, anything else, Bert, from the trip you wanted to touch on here? Or I think we kind of, I don't know, up to you.
Wrestling was great in London. London was great. The people were great. Definitely, hey man, Forbidden Door 2025 and All In 2026. So there you go.
Harpo, you got an open invite to either one of those. We were staying very close to Wembley Stadium, and we could see the fans marching in, and it was fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna say the stuff we were saying, but yeah, we were just perched up. We're just perched up drinking and making fun, just explaining what some of what they were wearing. Just people watching, nothing.
There's nothing wrong with people watching.
No, especially perched up with drinks,
Where they can't reach.
Or they can. Oh my god.
Oh, I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Did you pay a visit to Mecca while you were there? To Weatherspoons?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Oh boy, Weatherspoons.
You gotta hear about this.
Franklin ordered the bluest damn picture I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It was like washer fluid, but it was great.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. You got a Weatherspoons. You had a Greg's. I mean, we made sure to get them Iron Brew as well. Good stuff. You will get a similar.
I had Nando's. Nando's was delicious. By the way.
Nice. Yeah, I love Nando's. Yeah. Nando's is solid. A lot of people kind of not say poo it, but it's whatever.
Phil bought it for his friends.
Oh, did he?
That's right.
Yeah, that was his last act as an AEW talent, was buying Nando's for like FTR and a couple other select few.
Me and Franklin, that was our debate, not debate, but our assumption. Like, Phil got lost in the tube system in London. How the fuck do you get lost in something that's just a straight line and you speak the language, dude?
And you have Google Maps on your phone.
I'm stuck down here. I don't know what to do. The wrestling fans had to get me out. Idiot.
I'll leave you. I mean, me and Bert, we met up, and then right after we got off the tube station in Wembley Park, we we saw a familiar face, Harpo. I mean, not that we even said anything to them.
Oh
but...
no.
No, not a, we saw Soraya.
Oh no.
Just out and about.
Yeah. What are we gonna do? Hey.
Oh, hey.
Sign my 10
correct.
Sign my 10 Funkos.
They're for me, all of them.
They're for me. I
Yeah,
swear to
no,
you.
I'm not gonna sell these. I swear.
I swear. Why would you say I wasn't gonna sell it? We saw Nigel
We
too.
also saw
I
Nigel.
would say I'm a big fan of your work, but that would be a lie.
I like Soraya's character. You know, I'm not watching. I mean, the matches or whatever. I just like hearing her shit talking into the fans mostly.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's like those awkward celebrity encounters where it's a celebrity that maybe you're not like a total fan of, or like like my friend and I were up in Tahoe one time at a casino, and we come walking out, and like we go out like a side door that I don't think we're supposed to go out, and there's this huge tour bus, and I was like, oh shit, and then the door opens up and Willie Nelson comes out. And he was like, hey guys, and we're like, oh shit, hey, what's up, Willie? And I think we were like 21 at the time.
Sorry to bother you, big boy.
He's like, hey, you guys in town for the show? And I was like, well, we're in town. He's like, oh, you guys got tickets? I was like, no, because we were actually getting ready to drive back home, but I didn't want to say that.
Yeah.
You guys want tickets? And my buddy Chris goes, look, Willie, we love you, but I don't know any of your songs. And he just started laughing. He started laughing. He's like, at least you're honest. He goes, we're like, we think you're cool as hell, though. He's like, oh, well, I appreciate that, fellas. And then he just like slapped us on the back and kept walking.
Wow. Yeah, there's that point. Like, well, yeah. How do you interact with that? I mean, it's Willie Nelson, clearly an icon, but what do you really like? You're not. I mean, it's, you know what? It's not your job to say anything half the time, but I guess you were in close quarters, and
yeah, I was like, holy shit, it's Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
Cream of the crop. Speaking of coming.
Oh, what the?
Speaking of coming.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sucking on, chill it out.
All right. So, yeah, I saw Joe Pesci outside of a Cinnabon once. I didn't really. It was the moment he knew that I recognized him. Those fucking little legs were going straight to his car. It was a Cinnabon in an outdoor shopping mall. Let me clarify. It wasn't. And he could see I could tell that he saw the thought process being worked out in my head. Like,
He was
oh,
like, nope.
yeah. It was like, oh, and that was it. Like, no more. That's it.
I was like, I saw Booger from Revenge of the Nerds at Disneyland.
Curtis
And
Armstrong?
He was clearly yeah. And he was clearly in incognito mode. Like, he had like a hat and a scarf on that was like kind of obscuring his face. And like, we made eye contact and his eyes got really big, and I just kind of like nodded at him and he nodded at me.
Nice.
Like,
That
later
is,
on that night, like,
yeah.
on Twitter, I tweeted at him. I was like, hey, I didn't want to pull up your spot, but I saw you at Disneyland. We briefly made eye contact. I just wanted to let you know you were my childhood hero. And he just like responded with a smiley face. Okay, cool.
that's
like, his eyes got huge.
That's a very specific, like, one of your guys, Harpo. Like, and I grew up. Revenge of the Nerds 2 was one of my favorite films, and I was also like, I would also be like, holy shit, that is one of my guys. You know. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, it took everything in me not to be like, holy fuck.
No, you handled that with grace, I have to say. Yeah, handled it with grace. And he's the voice of one of the American Dad characters.
Yeah, that's right. Snot.
Wow. It all comes
Not
full
to be
circle.
confused with Booger.
It all comes full circle.
Breast milk.
I also recommend his book, Call Me Booger. It's a great book.
Nice. Shout out Curtis Armstrong. I posted
Friend
on
of the show.
I posted on a premiere that he attended with Balky from Perfect Strangers.
Oh man.
Yeah. Just seeing the pairing of just seeing Bronson and Curtis together in 1988, I'm like, ugh, this is art.
It doesn't get any more 80s than that.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And John Cryer. What a way to date ourselves, everybody. How do you guys feel about Chapel Roan canceling concerts now that I'm hip? I know the artists. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of scuttlebutt on the internet about that.
I follow a few celebrity Reddits, and I followed a Blake Lively saga, and yeah, now I get all these stuff about celebrities I don't know, but good times. All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Franklin, we gotta talk about something important from the weekend.
Let them come.
What's up?
We saw a fine little cinematic piece.
Oh shit! Yeah,
A
we do
little
have to make
Travolta
time.
vehicle.
Oh my god.
Why did you say that name?
Yes.
A little, what was it, 2002?
2000.
Yeah,
2000.
Oh.
Flat out.
Oh,
Nobody's got
2000
AIDS.
even. The smash hit Lucky Numbers.
Mm-hmm. It was Harpo.
Oh, snap.
Said some pretty nasty things.
Spanish.
Michael Jackson.
I am Lord Charlie Mordecai.
Thank you, Champ. I really wanted to play all these simultaneously.
I live for this shit.
Thank you. So, Lucky Numbers, 2000, a John Travolta vehicle. This is a movie that should have been straight to DVD, but it fucking made it to theaters. It got a premiere. You could tell he was in his fucking, what was that movie? It's not Snake Eyes. It was the movie where he's a fucking swordfish. He was in his swordfish. He was filming Swordfish, so he showed up with that fucking goatee of his. And
Oh god.
Yeah.
The soul patch.
yeah, so that was at the premiere. But Lucky Numbers, fucking Ed O'Neill. It's got Michael Moore playing a pervert. I mean, this movie is insane, dude. I mean, it's probably on Tubi or something. Lucky Numbers, Harpo. Do you know this movie?
Okay. No, but like you just sold me like
John Travolta from Swordfish era combined with Ed O'Neill. That's that Daddy wants for sure.
Well, he was also it wasn't Swordfish era. He was Swordfish era at the premiere, I should specify. But yeah. Anyways. So Bert, any more thoughts on this movie?
We also got Lisa Kudrow during her peak Friends era playing the devious sex pot, as it will. We also got Bill Pullman just like in a minor role in like the third act, which I think they blew all the budget for the movie just on the casting alone. Like, we got Michael Rappaport, unfortunately, but
yeah,
such is life.
Such is life. You're gonna get you know when you're doing tarot cards, you get the devil card once in a while, and that's life for you. But this movie, it is the perfect 2000s movie that just went under the radar, and you could tell, as Bert said, they ran out of money, and the end just feels abrupt. It's kind of like with those movies where they just show so-and-so went on to do this, freeze frame shot. So-and-so went on to do this, freeze frame shot, It's just like, where'd the money go? Where did the money go into this movie? Harpo, did we lose you?
I think we might have lost Harpo.
We may have lost Harpo. His audio went weird for a moment, and then we lost him. But anyways, I think we'll wrap it up. We got to see Lucky Numbers. These two people, they try to rig the lottery, and turns out that's not a very easy thing to do.
No, don't get caught rigging the lottery. Also, don't watch that Edge movie with Jamie Kennedy. Don't recommend that one.
Bert, breaking the rules or whatever, breaking all the rules. Fuck if I remember the name.
Yeah, it was a WWE film. You can tell Vince's stink was all over the humor.
You don't have to be a baby to like breast.
I'll leave the show at that. All right, you know.
You don't have to be a baby to like breast.
And we are done.